the-scum-report. And yes, I'm back after a week off. It's the Scum Report. A lot to talk about as usual. Entertainers and celebrities never fail to give me shit to talk about. So let's do this. Scum Report already, episode 7. 7 times you have let me talk about, hopefully, something that people care about. It matters to me because I like to talk, so it's like therapy. And for that, I do appreciate you letting me be Tom Brokaw or Peter Jennings. It's always fun to act like I'm an actual news reporter, which I'm not. First story, Charles Manson, of course, passed away. And the reason I'm bringing this up, it's because of people that do the stupid thing that I hate. And that's where they say, well, you know what? I can separate the work from the person, whether it be a actor or a film director or a musician. No matter what kind of crime they have committed, you can, or they can, separate themselves from that horrible act and still be able to enjoy whatever it is that they done. Like Roman Polanski. Well, you know what? It wasn't illegal. Are you serious? And I don't remember the age of the girl that Roman Polanski raped. I think she was 13 or 14. And the argument was that it was legal in the state wherever Roman Polanski was at the time. Well, he fled. He fled the fucking country. So, that argument is so stupid regardless. I don't care if the consenting age is 14. That's a terrible fucking age of consent. It is. He's a fucking creep. And these people that listen to Charles Manson and his music, it's really good. You guys, just don't think about him. Just listen to the words and how he sang them. The lyrics, they're amazing. He was a fucking lunatic. Remember, those women that went into that house, they cut a baby out of a woman's stomach. There's no separating that. Ever. These fucking people that say that shit, it's so ridiculous. What if shit like that happened to you in your family or somebody you cared about getting raped or murdered? You think you could just forget about that? I seriously doubt that. And just the people that post that shit, and we're not talking about a small amount. There's quite a few people. Oh yeah, I agree. These people, these fucking snowflakes that just don't have a thick skin. Just a stupid fucking argument. Charles Manson, good riddance. Next story I want to talk about. This is actually in the Washington Post. Yeah, I told you. I'm getting real serious here with this news reporting thing. And the guy that wrote the article, hope I pronounced his last name right, Mark Thiessen. It's titled, "The End of Shame in America Began with Bill Clinton." And what he's referring to, Roy Moore, that Republican that's basically stalked teenage girls and molested them. I can't believe he won't step down. But what the guy, what Mark Thiessen was saying, that a lot of this shit with politicians who get caught doing bad shit, and that happens all the time. It's not just these fucking actors and actresses that are doing sick, disgusting shit. Politicians are doing the same thing. But they don't leave their office. They just keep denying shit. And that's what he's referring to. And remember when the stuff happened with Monica Lewinsky. Bill Clinton just kept denying and lying and hoping that would create enough doubt that they would just eventually leave him alone and he wouldn't get impeached and all that shit. And that's what politicians do. That's what I was saying a few weeks ago with the Marshawn Lynch thing, that a couple guys were calling me a snowflake. Why? You know, when it comes to politicians, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I really am. And this is what politicians do. They lie. A lot of them do dirty shit behind everybody's backs. Some of them are better at hiding it than others. You know, they always mention that about Nixon. Oh, he wasn't bad. He was just one of the few that got caught doing something bad, and that's right. But Thiessen went to he referenced this lady, Kirsten Gillibrand. She's a Democrat out of New York, and she stated that Bill Clinton should have resigned because everybody's talking about Roy Moore should step down. Yeah, she says it now that Bill Clinton should have resigned, but it didn't happen, did it? So it's just kind of convenient that she says that now, and it just doesn't surprise me, you know. And the thing with the Marshawn Lynch, because I went off on him, these guys were saying, oh, another one of the NFL haters, just hating on the NFL. Who cares? Who cares if they sit during the national anthem? I do. I'm sorry. I guess that's where we're different. It does make a difference to me. But I just thought that was an interesting article. This is what politicians do. What was the one guy's name? Anthony Weiner? Like, it took 2 or 3 times before he finally didn't have a job anymore. It's sickening. These people that just keep doing the same shit over and no consequences for it. Do you think me or you would get away with all the shit that these guys get away with? No. The average person doesn't have that luxury. So the newest sexual predator, Matt Lauer, of NBC, he got fired. We didn't even really hear any stories. We just woke up on a Monday, it's like, he's fired. Wow. How about that? BC didn't fuck around with that. And then, of course, Geraldo Rivera defended him. I don't know exactly what he said. He said something on Twitter, posted something on Twitter, kind of defended Matt Lauer. Then, of course, Bette Midler comes out and says Geraldo groped her, like in 1991. And then, of course, Geraldo Rivera, he apologized, and then he said, I shouldn't have said those things about Matt Lauer. It's just a giant cesspool. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at here. They're all in the same cesspool together. Politicians and actors and some athletes that just want to be total pieces of shit. And it's just kind of ironic, isn't it, that Matt Lauer, and remember, I don't care either way, Democratic or Republican, it doesn't matter to me. It's just funny that Matt Lauer was always calling Trump this sickening sexual predator, and he gets fired for that same thing that he's bitching about. There's like 8 women so far that came forward, and it's just, I keep saying it over and over, and I know everyone's getting tired of it, but this is not going to stop. Every day we keep hearing new shit, and yeah, it wears on you. And I know we're going to find out that not all the stories are true. There's always going to be those people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame. It's just something we got to deal with, and that part of it sucks. Which brings us to, hopefully, a topic that still isn't trending on Twitter, and I think it should. Hashtag Ask Maggot of the Week. I'll try to get that going. What do you think? Let's make it a big deal. Why? Because it'd be exciting. Just have people talk about, well, there's this new award this guy is handing out every week. It's called Ask Maggot of the Week. That's a good thing, right? So, let's cue the music, Penelope. And it's the guy I talked about before, Marshawn Lynch. This goes back a couple weeks to that game that he in Mexico that I think it was the Patriots, Raiders versus the Patriots, and he sat down during our national anthem, but stood up for the Mexican national anthem. And in our anthem, of course, he just sat there, picked his nose, and done all this shit, and then goes out of his way to stand for the Mexican national anthem. I did a podcast about this, and I made it very clear. This isn't about, I'm not hating on the country of Mexico, and I'm not hating on Mexicans who stand for their national anthem. They should. And I'm sure they do. They respect it. But for that fucking cocksucker to deliberately do that, fuck you. You're wearing an NFL uniform. Where's that located? The United States. You fucking asshole. The reason that you get paid millions of dollars is because of that league. Yeah, I am so sick of that guy. And I talked about it ad nauseum. Kind of went over the edge a little bit. I did, I'm not going to lie. But it really is, it's just for a minute, he could stand for that. And I get so sick of the guys that suck his ass. That's just Marshawn being Marshawn. He's a rebel. He's his own guy. No, he's a fucking asshole. Man, if I was the Raiders, I'd cut his ass. Then let's see how much money he makes, right? I am just tired of that, and you can see it now. The NFL, the ratings are down. They don't talk about any of the players that are sitting down. In fact, I don't know if any players are still sitting during the national anthem anymore. I don't know. They came up with some kind of agreement. The NFL is going to pay this new coalition of players for, going to give them like, was it $80 million or something like that to put into the communities and pay money to organizations that they feel strong about. And I don't have a problem with that. That's okay. It just, the whole national anthem thing, that backfired. And you know what happened? They started losing money, the NFL did. Right? They were giving back subscriptions to the NFL Sunday Ticket. Attendance was down at all the games. People aren't watching the games like they used to. Always comes down to money. And I said this before. I know this country has problems. And I don't have a problem with players wanting to talk about those problems and trying to find solutions. You just can't do it that way. And I don't want to hear about Kaepernick anymore either. Fuck him. And you can go listen to my podcast. I'm not wasting another second talking about either one. Him or Marshawn Lynch. I'm done. Okay. I'm good. I held it together, Penelope. Aren't you excited? And for those that that don't know, I do have a new assistant. Her name is Penelope. She replaced Gertrude, and she is a real person. There's a couple of people arguing with me on Twitter. It's like, dude, really, how old are you? We know that's fake. Oh, she's fake? Where are the pictures at? She doesn't want her picture taken. She's my assistant. She's by my side. She helps me do little things for the show. Pre-production. How about that? There's a professional word for you. There is pre-production for my shows. It may not sound like it. You think it's just a simple show where I talk in this microphone and look at this computer screen. There's a lot more to it. Is that right, Penelope? Alright, movies. Yeah, I'm just going to transition right into movies after Marshawn Lynch. I had to talk about the Justice League a little bit. And I know I did talk a little bit about it before. And how the kind of mixed reviews and it's not making a ton of money. Like I said, superhero burnout. Got to pay attention, Hollywood. We can only see so many different versions of a superhero before we get bored with the shit. I mean, it's just that simple. Gonna reboot Batman again? Who's gonna play it next time? Nicolas Cage? I tell you what, you want to see a funny documentary? There is one about Nicolas Cage being Superman. That movie, they were really serious about making that movie with Nicolas Cage as Superman. Just picture that. Nicolas Cage. What a fucking weirdo. I didn't really expect I'd be talking about Nicolas Cage today, but that guy, he's all over the place. Like, I'll see him in a movie and think, wow, he's pretty good. And then I'll see him in another movie like, wow, this guy's fucking terrible. Is it The Wicker Man? Go watch that movie. I'm telling you, it's a comedy. It's not meant to be a comedy. It's meant to be a serious, scary movie. But it is so bad, it's funny. It really is. But the Justice League, we got to talk about Superman's mustache. And he had the guy that plays Superman, Henry Cavill. He had a deal, and he was making the Expendables Mission Impossible 6. Is that right? Either 5 or 6. I watched the first one. I just can't fucking watch Tom Cruise in anything. Anyway, but he had a mustache, and it was in his contract he had to have this mustache. Well, Justice League is filming at the same time, so they did the digital thing and took his mustache out, and I guess it's real obvious in the movie that when he's talking, you could tell there's something wrong. And it's just funny to me. Hollywood has all this shit that they do. You know, with the computer-generated graphics and all that shit. But they can't properly take a guy's mustache off without it looking bad. And I know, I attack Hollywood a lot. I don't hate everything about Hollywood. There's some actors and actresses I like. There's movies I like. I just think they get paid too much money. They really do. You know, Jennifer Lawrence shouldn't be making $20 million for every fucking movie she films. I think that's ridiculous. What? I say it all the time. Why aren't we paying our teachers more? They deserve to make more money. Not some person pretending to be something they're not. But of course, too, I had to mention it. Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Was it like 2 weeks from today? Holy shit. I am excited about it. I don't know if I'll go to the movies and see it, but I am glad for one thing. The fact that with The Force Awakens they went back to the old formula. The 3 prequels that came in between the first 3 and then the newest ones we're watching, which Hollywood quit doing that. Because you get everybody fucking confused. Oh, so the second 3 happened before the first 3. Yeah. But those first 3 were just fucking terrible. You know, Liam Neeson and the dude that played Obi-Wan Kenobi, I can't think of his name right off the bat. Just god awful. And I was a little nervous about when The Force Awakens. I'm not like one of these people that stand in line for 3 hours to watch a movie. Okay? More likely I'll wait till I can rent it on DVD. But I'm a Star Wars fan, and The Force Awakens was pretty good. You know, I thought it sucked that Han Solo got killed. What the fuck did you do that for? He didn't want to be in any more movies. I don't blame him. But The Last Jedi, that's going to be huge. And kind of looking forward to it. I'll be watching all the first reviews just to see, you know, the reaction of everybody. It's just hard to believe. I never thought that I would be seeing new Star Wars movies at this point in my life. But that's Hollywood for you. And I want to talk about Netflix real quick. Nothing screams excitement like Netflix, right? So I took a little week off there, you know, little vacation, and I watched Stranger Things and Ozark. Both of those shows kick ass. They really do. Stranger Things, I watched both seasons. I did the binge watching thing. You know, I want to stay current with everybody, so I looked up the binge watching thing. And I said, oh, wow. So basically, you pick a show and you watch every episode that you haven't seen. So, yeah, I watched 2 shows. That Ozark is really good, too. It's got Jason Bateman in it. So, if you don't have Netflix, get it just to watch those shows. They're really good. And now, how about some music? Right? We love our music. I'm going to start with the Eagles. Didn't think I'd probably start with the Eagles, did you? I just seen they had some, you know, tickets for sale that you could buy so you can go see them for $99.50. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. These bands, like the Eagles, that have made millions of dollars already, do not need to be charging that kind of money for tickets. Seriously? Why? It drives me crazy. Metallica played here in Iowa not too long ago. I think it was last summer, maybe. I could be wrong. I don't know. Tickets were like $100. Why? Fuck, man. You guys have already made a shitload of money. You don't need to charge that much for tickets. You just don't. And speaking of Metallica, so Dave Mustaine, when he was in Metallica, they had a demo that they recorded called No Life Till Leather. And a couple years ago, James Hetfield got a hold of Dave Mustaine so they could re-release this demo, and it had like 27 songs. Well, talks broke down because Lars Ulrich, the drummer, wanted credit for 2 of the songs. And Dave Mustaine said, bullshit. Not doing it because I wrote every song on that demo. I'm not giving him any credit for it. Which I'm glad that he said that, and he has every right to do that. It's his music. And you know, I know I said this before, Dave Mustaine, sometimes it's just like, dude, would you fucking relax? Quit being so fucking serious all the time. Maybe people would like you more. Just saying. Chill a little bit. But he's right. And listen, Lars Ulrich, I've said this before too. especially about him. Could you imagine being in a band with him for 30 years? Like James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett have been. And you see him sometimes when they look at him, they're like, God, shut the fuck up. And he gets destroyed about his drumming all the time. You know what? He ain't perfect, but stop it. Just because he's an annoying asshole, don't take away the fact that he is a good drummer. Alright, maybe he's not the same drummer he was when they started out 3 decades ago, but this shit is just constantly ripping him as a horrible musician is ridiculous. Come on now. And even after all this, after all the fans found out about this little fiasco with the demo, they were attacking Metallica on Twitter, of course, and Facebook, and Dave Mustaine said, listen, I'm a fan of Metallica, leave him alone. He's like, regardless of what happened with this demo, I'm still a fan. And so you got to give him credit for that. He kind of started defending Metallica, even though Lars was being a douche as usual. Lars, just shut up. I guess that's the moral, the point I want to get across. He's not a terrible drummer like everybody says. Every drummer makes mistakes live. Nobody's perfect. But he needs to shut the fuck up, too. Alright. Five Finger Death Punch. Interesting little song that they covered. Did you hear it? So Far Away from the Offspring. And it feels like heaven is so far away. Why? Full disclosure, not a huge Offspring fan. Never have been. But Five Finger Death Punch is supposed to be this big, tough-ass metal band, and you're covering the Offspring so far away? I think their version is bad. I mean, it's just not good when the original itself sucks. I don't know why they picked that song. There's a lot of other songs they could have picked, but they chose that one for some reason. Bad choice. Just my opinion. I know that there's fans of the Offspring that probably disagree with me, and there's fans of Five Finger Death Punch that disagree with me too. I just don't think that's a song that they should be covering. It's just not. This is a little news for the Buckster. That's right. He's probably driving down that road right now as we speak. Joan Jett. I found this out. Got a documentary coming out in 2018 called Bad Reputation. Kind of an interesting career. Not kind of. Very interesting career. She started out with the Runaways. She even wrote a couple of songs for the Germs. It's crazy. Darby Crash, the worst singer on the planet. One of the worst singers of all time. Yeah, she's linked to the Germs, though. I'll check that out. Definitely. Joan Jett. That's for you, Buckster. Operation Mindcrime. Not the album from Queensryche. Jeff Tate. He was in a band before Queensryche, and I believe the name of it was Operation Mindcrime, so he took the name, and he's done like a 3-part album or something like that. They're a progressive metal band. Oh my god, it's so fucking bad. This new one is called A New Reality. Oh my god, it's so bad. Progressive metal? No, it's not. There's nothing progressive about it. And the album Operation Mindcrime from Queensryche, awesome album. I have it on cassette, actually. There's my favorite word again, cassette. But just listening to the band Operation Mindcrime, wow, I don't know why he's recording. At one time, man, no doubt about it, he could sing. He sounded great. I even liked a couple of the other Queensryche albums. But this band, Operation Mindcrime, just my opinion. Maybe there's somebody out there that likes this kind of stuff. The guy that reviewed it was on Banger, Overkill Reviews. I forget the guy's name. He does really a good job reviewing albums. He was kind of saying the same thing, like, wow, this is a kind of a confusing record. It's progressively not good. How about that? Definitely, there's no metal in it at all. Got to talk about Oscar. I reviewed Idol Will Kill yesterday. That's my number 4 album of all time. So I only have 3 left. I just can't believe that this fucking year is almost done. These years are flying by. And you know what? I'm not adjusting to it very well. Because I keep looking at pictures of the kids. And I'm getting older. I'm like, fuck. Time. You got to slow down. I'm not liking this. I'm growing old. It's not fun. One of these days I'll be like, well, you know what? Welcome to the Scum-Report. Jesus, Penelope, what was I supposed to say? God damn it. What's wrong with this microphone? What is a laptop? Is it gonna get like that? Probably not. Yeah. You actually have to have fans that care about a show for it to last. But anyway, yeah. Idol Will Kill. Please listen to it. And Treatment 5 was the week before. Exactly. Oscar was back to back. But they only recorded 2 albums. They do have a demo. Like, that's a band. Oh my god. And I said it on the review yesterday. 3rd album. Oh, I would have loved to have heard a 3rd album from them. But it happens. A lot of bands just say, fuck it, we ain't doing this shit anymore. And unfortunately, that's what happened to Oscar. Just couldn't keep a drummer. And I want to finish it off with Nerf Herder, Band of the Month. Kind of obvious, right? The new Star Wars movie's coming out a couple weeks. Nerf Herder got their name from The Empire Strikes Back. That's another band. Please check them out. Nerf Herder and Oscar are the exact opposite of Metallica and the Eagles. And I know a lot of people would argue, yeah, it's called talent. Yeah, I disagree. They just perform different kinds of music. But Nerf Herder and Oscar deserve some of your money. I don't know how much money Oscar would get from selling their albums now, but their name's still attached to it. So they get a little chunk of it. But really good bands, and honestly, that's the whole reason I started doing all these podcasts is for bands like them. So please, check them out. There you go. Kind of a shorter version of the Scum Report, but that's all I got. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and remember, always come back on Monday so I can take care of that hangover. Alright, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. I'm out.